Hey, what's going on YouTube? It has been a little while. I think this has been 3 weeks since we have officially been live on here. We were trying to go at least every week or every other week, but we kind of got into a little bit of a busy routine, a little bit of just a lot of stuff going on. So we didn't get to come live, but we're happy to be back. Tim, what's up?
What's going on? Another day in New Hampshire.
Another day in paradise. Yeah. Just a lot of work, a lot of new customers, a lot of sales on eBay. I think both of us have been selling a pretty solid amount, considering August is still summer slowdown technically.
Way up.
Yeah, I mean, we both been I know you've been pumping out orders. I see a lot of it, and
insane amount.
Yeah, so yesterday rather, we shipped 26 orders, and today we shipped 13 on a Monday to Tuesday, which was crazy talk. I know that you shipped like 30 orders yesterday or something.
I shipped 30 orders yesterday. I have right now 13 orders right now to ship tomorrow.
Yeah, so
that's quite a bit for a Tuesday. And that's, I mean,
turned up on it.
I shipped everything before 11 a.m. today, so it's not even even 12 hours.
We shipped at 10:30, and 10:30 we shipped, and we currently have 6 awaiting right now. So
I am still waiting for someone to pay for something from August 8th. I'm gonna have.
Yeah, I have one awaiting as well, and so currently active. Remember, I liquidated from 5,000 down to 600 items. We're back to 2,200. So at 1% a day, you think I'd sell 22, but I'm selling 0.5%, which for my inventory and for what's going on right now is pretty solid. I'm selling, I mean, if I get to 12 to 14, I'll be at like 0.75%. So
I got 1135 active, so I'm over 1% right now.
That's crazy good. Yeah, Cindy's shipping 25 on Monday. So a lot of people, I always say back to school is always the turnaround point. I never understood that though, because like I get summer slowdown, people are at the beach, people are on vacation, people are spending money on other stuff, they're not paying attention. Welcome in A. Tuckerman's 2011 finally caught us live. But why is back to school? Is that kind of like when everybody's home from vacation, nobody's really leaving?
I think so. I think vacation's over for a lot of people. You know, we're coming up on Labor Day weekend. That'll be the final push. But other than that, people's vacation time is probably up. I think you said down there they're back in school, right?
They started. Yep, they started officially. Yep. So actually, it was weird. Some schools started Thursday last week.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, like I took packages out on Thursday a little bit earlier than I normally do, and there were still like car lines of kids getting dropped off. So don't get me started. Carline is a heated discussion with me, but
my son started kindergarten camp yesterday, so I'm experiencing the car line, and it's
shipped out 75 this past Monday. That's crazy. So yeah, I think if you've got inventory and you don't have it up now, I warned everybody not to wait till October 1st, which is the official start of fourth quarter. You want to have stuff up at fourth quarter, not while fourth quarter is ticking away, but really, you should start now. Tim just reminded me, I forgot about Labor Day, which is the first weekend. What is that, September?
Yeah, it's like the last weekend of August.
Labor Day is like Monday. It's the first Monday in September. So the official September 1, 2, 3 Labor Day always is good sales. I just looked it on my YouTube. I did Labor Day videos about it. You should have stuff up in the next 2 weeks. You've got, 16 days. So now is better than ever. The uptick should start happening, which makes sense too. eBay's historical worst months are July. I think we experienced that, and June. July is first, and June is second worst. May 3rd, the 3 slowest months, obviously. So hopefully everybody, Oliver doing 75 orders on Monday. Oliver, what do you sell? That's
crazy.
75 orders on any one day. The most I've ever shipped on a Monday on my own independently is probably like 50 or 60. When I was doing sales work with Dave, where we were both kind of working on the same material and shipping, we shipped 119 packages one Monday morning. It was pretty nuts. Kate did one order with Dave a Monday that I was gone, and she told me we beat it and did like 150. But I was like, good God. Like, Yeah. And that was during a fourth quarter, of course. July was tough. July was definitely probably one of the hardest months for all of us. Selling wise, at least reselling and, social media. People ask this too. I did an interesting thread on Facebook and Instagram I posted. People were asking about what percentage of my business is social media or content creation or all this. And that, there's some content creators that don't do selling or whatever. And I talked a little bit about the percentage, but social media and content creating is down during summer slowdown also. Why? Well, one, some of that income is from marketing products, obviously. So that's down if no one's buying anything. But also because people aren't viewing content as much. They're not, consuming content because they are at the beach. You're not on your phone watching YouTube videos all day. So everything really goes down really, really low. Oliver sells shoes, keeps me busy. I got a neighbor that sells a lot of shoes. So
a lot of shoes.
Yeah, a lot of shoes. He's going to ASD next week, by the way.
Oh, is he? I've never been to ASD. Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been once. Yeah, it fell one time on eBay Open. Like literally, we were leaving Friday, and it fell on Saturday, Sunday, so we just stayed an extra day.
I've had very busy days before. Saks. I get the USPS Saks.
Yes, Saks. Yeah,
and I just fill them with packages.
That's pretty crazy. Yep.
That was September 19th last year, so almost fourth quarter.
Almost fourth quarter. Steven sold like 6 items this month. Steven, is it a lack of items, a lack of inventory, not enough up, or quality of items? I'd be happy if you email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll take a look at it and see if I can't help you a little bit with that. Mike's in the house, flipping goodies. What's up? So, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the people that we deal with as well, we're seeing a lot of increase in sales on people that we work with through the listing service. Obviously, the more you list, the more you sell. I screenshot it. In fact, I think I have the screenshot here still on my phone from this morning. This is actually Tim's eBay. We have different eBay accounts, of course. And we had 0 of a certain item up, remote controls on Tim's account as of last month. In fact, it was
July 10th.
July 10th, first day, yeah. And since July 10th, I can show you. I screenshotted this morning. But look at this August 10th. So 1 month later, look at that sales. And you guys can see the creep up. There were some big days over there in July. Obviously, you had a couple. But look at the consistency over here in August, coming up to $340 in a day. So you're talking about a $10,000 a month average and building.
Yeah,
and
I'm up July 16th to August 15th. I'm up 150% in my sales.
150%. And so it shows now that you're listing consistently, and Tim really took off. Like the last 2 weeks, we had a ton of inventory, clean, prepped, ready to go. So, I mean, what did you say this morning? You've listed 400 or 500 in the month since last month?
Yeah, I skew everything, so I'm at skew like 550 right now. Good so, but there's multiple quantities. There's multiple quantities.
There is multiple quantities for sure. We have one SKU in particular that you sold like 20 of.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep seeing it all the time. But yeah, even with the quantity things, you've listed 550.
Yeah, 242 units sold over the last month.
242 units, and he skewed up 550. So,
I mean, we're still adding. I mean, right now I'm adding.
And we're adding every day.
50 items a day to the store. We're on a crazy push right now.
Yep. Hey, what's up? Katie Reed's one of my great viewers. She's on Instagram too. Super smart girl. What's going on? So, yeah, it speaks for itself in the volume of, like, obviously you have to list a lot of inventory. People are bad about being consistency. I think that was consistent. That was one of our things that we're working on now too. Like there was a week in there where like you didn't get a lot up. We were doing more like clean prepping or stuff, and there wasn't a lot of listing going on. I can't remember what our story was on that, but those sales, I can literally pull up the spreadsheet and you can see like a little gap, 3 or 4 days of sales. So consistency is great too. Always. So
just trying to get listings every single day. Like, you know, I get up and then my drafts are there ready to go. So I, add my price and I make them live.
Yeah. It's amazing how eBay's algorithm and their whole, pushing you up and all that stuff works. It's crazy how their system does it. So Telemaster up 47% in 31 days. Pretty good. I'm currently up 20.5% in 30 days. I think, Tim, you're up. I saw it this morning. In 30 days, you're up like 20 or 20%,
150% versus prior time period.
Prior time period up 150. That's absolutely crazy. Christine is here, Palmer. Sorry you're late. Better late than never. And you have to list it to sell it. Red's Outpost. One of my longest viewing people. She watched my channel probably when I had hair. So yeah. Yeah, list it. If you don't have the time, if you don't have the resources, the capabilities, we're happy to list it for you. That's one thing we've been kind of slacking on, not for lack of effort, but it's just asking a lot of people. But if you're in the chat and you do use our listing service, ProEcommerceLister, the website and email are below. But if you are already a client of ours, and you show sales increase numbers and you're up on those percentages, if you could screenshot that and like maybe the date that you started with us, or I can pull up the date you started with us actually. If you could just screenshot me your increase in sales and text it to me like Facebook or Instagram, or email it to rockstarflipper@gmail.com, that would be legitimately awesome. And I'll toss you a couple of free listings for doing that. If you could send it over to us, I'll give you like 5 free listings. We would love to see the sales increases because people ask us, we actually get that email a lot. Yeah. Does your listing service have anybody that can show the increase in their listings versus increase in sales? And I'm like, well, yeah, we have it, but we don't actually have it. Like we know it's happening, but
we can't see that in your account though. So not that we would ever share, your private personal
information. We would never share it publicly unless you send it to us to publicly share it. But we can't see it anyways. We don't have access to that. That's one great thing people don't understand. We don't have access to anything that you don't give us access to inside of the account. So on eBay, at least Poshmark and the other ones, they don't have third-party multi-user access. Yeah. Well, Poshmark said they were going to do it, but that was ages ago. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Why would you not have employee access? I mean, Amazon has had it forever.
Yeah. It seems reasonable that
Shopify has it, Amazon has it, eBay has it.
Yeah. It seems reasonable that Poshmark would have had it a long time ago because there's so many people using VAs or bots or services or sharing, especially the sharing services people use. Like, I figured they'd be one of the first ones to have it. So, yep. Telemaster got his listings increased. Yeah, if you get your listing limits increased, you'll obviously go up. So,
it's very easy. Super easy.
Just call one.
You just have to call and ask.
They give it to you, yeah.
They give it to you.
Yep. Red's Outpost. I remember your hair. Awesome. I think quality of what you're putting up is more important than the amount. Oliver, it is a quality and a quantity thing. It's both, honestly. Quality, the better the items, the more sell-through rates you'll get. But if you have inventory, like even if you have quality shoes like you have and they're sitting around, you still got to get them up to sell them. So it is definitely, I do quality and quantity. I don't care what it is. But Christine Palmer, full-time job. How many people in the chat have a full-time job or even a part-time job? This is the hardest thing. I couldn't imagine how much work I wouldn't get done if I had to like go to a job every day. This isn't bragging. I've never had a job. It's just the way life worked out for me. Thank God. I'm probably unemployable at this time. I don't think I could ever get hired. I don't think anybody would hire me. Maybe I could get a job as like a car salesman or something. Maybe, but I don't know how you people do it. Like, I don't envy you, but I also am in like all of you because how do you go to a job? Well, when I met Tim a couple years ago, he had a job. Like, I always forget that like you had a job.
I worked a lot of hours.
And when I mean Tim had a job, I mean he had a legitimate job and was building what was not just a part-time reselling business.
It was full-time. It was full-time on the side.
Your business is doing more sales at that point than a lot of people watching or people that are a part of this community do ever in their lives. So you had both of those going on. How the hell, and I said it, how the hell do you possibly schedule and balance and do? And Tim, at the time, a couple years ago, Tim's kids are little now, and at the time they were even littler.
Yeah.
So
because I quit a year and a half ago. So I mean, they were
what, 2 and 1, 2 and 4,
1 and 3. I don't know.
1 and 3, yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 3, I think.
Jeez. The Unemployed Scholars Network. I love the name. That's hilarious. I get a full-time gig cramming in listing now after work. Yeah, I just, congratulations to you guys because I don't know how you do it. Lulu's Thrifting, 33-hour-a-week job. That's a lot. Well, I saw somebody the other day who said that they work 90 hours a week. They have 2 jobs. One of them is like a side hustle gig. I don't think it's reselling necessarily, but 90 hours a week. A lot of people don't realize there's only 168 hours in a week. And if you only sleep 6 hours out of those days and you lose 42 hours, you only have 126 waking hours left. And everybody needs a couple hours worth of eating and sitting and relaxing. So if that's just 3 hours a day, you lose another 21 hours. You only have 105 hours a week to work. 100 hours is probably reasonable after showering and cleaning up. It's not a lot of time. When somebody says they work 90 hours a week, and we know that you have to sleep at least 5 or 6 hours a night, I mean, you're talking about losing, 130 out of 168 hours. You only have 38 hours left for the week to eat, to shower, to pay bills, to grocery shop, to hang out with your kids, to do whatever. That's only 5 hours a day max to do anything outside of working and sleeping. And that's if you only sleep like 5.5 hours a day. If you're somebody who sleeps 6 or 7, oh, you're done. I can't remember what that girl did. I know she had a full-time office job, 40 hours a week. And then she said her driving time was 30 minutes each day. So she was losing another 5 hours. So she was 45 hours at her job, sometimes 50. And then working her side hustle at home, like at least 4 to 5 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, I would come home, put my kids to bed. I actually have a picture of my son when he was a baby sleeping next to me on the floor with my laptop.
Wow.
I had to do it.
Wow. That's crazy. Unemployed Scholars Network. I've been down since he had medium peach fudge steak. Good grief. I'm not even leaving that up. I'm going to grow my reselling and bring in more income. A stay-at-home mom, but my kids are getting older. I don't have any excuses. Yeah, once the kids are old enough, I guess they sort of babysit, take care of themselves. Oh, there we go. Ed Cole up 25%. I didn't even see Ed in the chat. What's up, Ed?
Didn't see me. What's up, Ed?
Yeah, Ed's great. For those of you that don't know, Ed is the one that was gracious enough to come. He drove from Louisiana. I don't remember what town he said he's from, but Louisiana, drove out here 13, 14 hours, bought all my inventory, drove it back. Well, he followed the moving truck that took it. And then he's been listing. I can see Ed's list perfectly. It's absolutely mind-blowing what is going. He's got like 110 pages of inventory and lists perfectly. 110 pages of inventory. It's insanity. I can sell cars, but only BMW. It turns out, contrary to popular belief, I actually own 5 models of cars or makes of cars right now. So even though Mini is made by BMW, I own BMWs, I own Fords, I own Kate had Lexus and Nissan. I owned a Hummer back in the day. I owned an Audi TT, which is still German, but I've owned all kinds of models. I just been stuck on the Beamer thing ever since I got one and somehow traded it for another and another and another. And then now the i8s just kind of speak for themselves.
I loved mine. But I needed a truck, so yeah. They don't make a truck, so
no. And the SUVs are crazy expensive. I'll be the first to admit. Oh, you can go ahead. He's taking care of the kids right now. See,
it's supposed to be sleeping.
Candy took a full-time job 5 months ago. Great pay and benefits. That's one thing I know a lot of people. I can't really, harp too hard on people because there are a lot of the jobs that people won't quit, not because the income necessarily, but the benefits are so huge. Like if they've got a 401k match and even some reasonable amount of health insurance or
the health insurance is
especially if they have kids, like a wife.
Ridiculously expensive for a family of 4.
Yeah, I mean, me and Kate spend $650, I think it is, a month, $648 for 2 of us. Once we have a kid, it goes over $1,000. If you have 2 kids, it could be $1,200, $1,400 a month.
16.
Oh God, that's just staggering. Even almost tripling 2.5 times what I spend now. That's ridiculous. Can't wait for that. Ed's in New Orleans. Ed is actually in New Orleans. I wasn't sure if you were in New Orleans or not. Yeah, you don't regret the job. I get it. Like Candy's right, but you regret. Oh, there's Liam. There's the it's supposed to be in bed. I was gonna say the little curfew trader over there. Yeah, what's up, Liam?
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
All right. You gotta get back in bed.
I'll hold down the fort. Yeah. Mr. Buys a Lot. Wow, look at Ryan in the chat. I have friends who have 8 kids and are already over 130,000 in sales this year. I don't know if I'm more envious of them being 130 in sales, because that's really great. I mean, I do more in sales than that. I do more in profit than that, but that's fantastic as any seller. But to have 8 kids and do that is, jeez. I struggle enough with one fur kid and one woman in the other room. Hey, gamer, appreciate that. Yeah, new sellers always welcome here. We always talk about it. Yeah, that's Tim's oldest. He has a little girl too. I believe they are 2 years apart, if I'm not mistaken. They were just here in Florida. I should know this better. In fact, Liam just had a birthday just a couple months ago. 8 kids or 8 workers? Bear Kitty, great question. No, I think he meant they have 8 kids, but yeah, it's just a matter of balancing time and balancing to-do list. My to-do list is kind of small right now because I've crossed it all off for the day, shockingly. But I just have a notepad. Like, let me see if I can screen share with this with you guys real quick. I don't know if it's gonna let me screen share or not. Yeah, I could screen share. So like, this is kind of like sort of part of what I do here. This is like a research video I'm doing. But I have a list that's work to do, and then I have like a personal to do. You can see the personal to do. We have some spots in our house that we fixed some little holes or whatever. I know my house is newer, but it needs some touch-up paint. We have some curtains we bought for the outside thing. We have a heater we bought for the winter that I got to build. My big garbage can that gets cleaned every 2 weeks. You know, the big garbage can you throw all your trash bags in and then roll out to the curb. Well, it starts to smell. And so every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks or so, I clean it out. And then I bought new wipers for the SUV. So I need to put all this stuff on this week. This is this week's to-do list. This is a link to a website that I'm following and watching. And I'll put random notes down here like, don't forget to check dog treat levels for groceries, right? Like, I'll put stuff like that down here. And this is all about the balance. And then tomorrow I'll have stuff like remote accounting, remote sales accounting. Like, I'll put this on the list for tomorrow. And then I'll put like to check the emails clear, like make sure they're clear tomorrow by noon to make sure everybody's been responded to. So this is just like stuff that I do, and this is how I balance it pretty well. At least I try to anyways. Let me stop the screen. I don't know how everybody else does it, but that's how I do it.
Sticky notes. I love sticky notes.
Yeah, that's right.
I love sticky notes.
I'll tell you, I used to be the king of, well, first of all, I used to be sticky note king.
Oh, not even opened.
I know, they're not even, I'll put them on my eBay, private offers. But what I used to be the real king of was I used to have like 50 of these things.
No, I don't like notebooks.
I used to have this sit there, and I would be like, so I'd pull out like a pen, and wherever I would go, it would just be like, oh, write it down. I'd keep this in my pocket like all day long. And once I filled out the notes and they were no good, I'd rip them out. And then once the thing was done, I'd trash it and move on to the next one. And at one point, I probably had 20 or 30 of those going. By the way, eBay makes some pretty solid pens. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with that. Thanks, eBay. I have a whole drawer of pen. Yeah, daily checklist. So my daily checklist is pretty much the same every day. Like, I need to clear emails. I need to do the accounting work for the remote accounting and whatever accounting work we have, my eBay accounting and updating all that stuff. I have my personal bills and accounting, because I know it's kind of hard for a lot of people to understand, and I didn't understand this a long time ago, but I realized I pay like 70 bills a month. And people don't understand. They're like, oh my God, how do you have 70 bills? Well, I have a house payment, electric bill. I have all the normal personal bills that I have. Maybe they're 10 or 15 bills, right? But then I have like my email list subscription. I have my PicMonkey subscription, which a lot of this is on auto pay, but some of it's not. So I have to go through and make sure that money is transferred into the right accounts and that bills are paid and certain things are, on and off and certain things are paid. Our electric bill, this is a really weird one. We prepay our electric bill and then it deducts our credit. So let's say I send the electric company $200 and I use $5 today. When I log in tomorrow, it'll say you have $195 left.
That's crazy. I've never heard of that.
And then $185 left if we use $10 one day. And then when you get down to like $25, it messages me and it goes, hey, your account balance is $25. You have 4 days left. And then it says, to avoid, shut off, make a deposit. And so then I just make a deposit of like $150 or whatever. but it tells me exactly how much I used between July 1st and July 31st. It'll say your total credit usage was $204 or whatever. Yeah, really strange. I've never had it this way. I've always just got a bill and made the payment. But so I have to keep track of that because they don't do auto withdrawals because they don't care. Like you just send however much you want to send. So I'm always checking this stuff. There's always a list. And when people like have a full-time job, I don't know how they have enough time, like make eBay listings is always on my list. I always just keep moving it to the bottom of the list constantly. I'm the worst. Yeah. One of his notebooks said grow hair, but he lost that one. Brian. This guy tried to sell me like 300 pieces of inventory for like 150 grand one time.
Was it iPhones?
No, it was movie posters and ephemeria. You should see it. I'll show you. I'll have to text you a picture of his building.
Yeah.
Google Keep carries between my laptop phone. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I'm late. What did the title mean? eBay sales gone crazy. So our eBay sales, Ethan, James, thanks for the question, are really going good. It's this time of year where stuff starts popping off, per se, I guess. Tim's up 150%. I'm up 25%, was it? 20-something percent. People are up 30, 40%. People are going to send me screenshots. I'll post. We'll see how well. But I think on average, I think a lot of people are going to be up 50+% by the end of the month. I assume I'll be up 50% by the end of the month.
And you know where most of those sales came from?
I'm listening.
Accepting offers and sending offers.
Yeah, I don't know the percentage, but it's at least half, if not 60% of my sales come from offers. At least. I sent out the offers today. Half of those orders that I have to ship tomorrow are from sending offers. Yeah. So the 6 orders I have right now from today, I shipped at 10 o'clock this morning. So the 6 orders, that was an offer. That was not. That was an offer. That was an offer. I can tell because of the difference in the prices too. So 3 of the 6 items. So exactly half of them were offers. So Red's Outpost up 68%. We'd love to list for you. You have some crazy stuff. But yeah, if juggling time and balancing and completing the to-do list is really a tough thing for you to, keep on board and keep the listings consistent, please reach out to us. If you're a new customer, we have a new customer sale. We'll get you to whatever price you really need. But honestly, if you're buying 100 or more listings, we'll give you $1.25 a listing all day long. If you're buying 500 or more listings, we'll hook you up on a deal with that. If you buy 1,000 or more, we'll make that worth your while. It's really worth the $1.25, $1.20, whatever we can get you to just cross that off your list permanently. Let us do the work. Let us take care of it. We have a mobile app, so it's easy for your phone pictures to be sent over. It's just so convenient, and everything you can pay to get rid of off of your list. That's why people, Walmart, the CEO of Walmart isn't in Walmart checking people out, right? They're paying people to do all these jobs. So, and we pay people to do all our jobs. Gamer.
Thanks, Ed. Ed sent his screenshots. Very impressive.
Oh, nice. Ed, thank you very much. Appreciate that. The eBay app kept glitching. Yeah, there were some glitches today, Gamer. You could delete it, re-download it, make sure you know your logins. That sometimes helps. Unemployed Scholars Network. So great point. This has been talked about a lot in the Facebook groups this week because it seems to be growing. Waiting on payment is tough. It's torture. I hate it. But more and more people are being auto-added to the debit card, credit card required to make an offer. So in other words, when they're a buyer making offers, they have to have their payment on file, and it takes it automatically. And you'll get a message saying this buyer paid automatically. It's pretty cool. I've had a couple happen, not many, but I've had a few. Ed at 60% of sales from offers. That's probably what I'm at. If I had to guess.
Hey, is there a report that tells you that?
Ed, is there a report, or did you just do the math on that and you knew? That's a great question. I don't know if there's a report. There may be. Yeah, Renee, send us more pictures. We've been waiting for you. We talked about you just the other day, saying we didn't remember seeing any uploads from you. Samuel, that's a great question. Why use our service instead of something like List Perfectly? So actually, we are different companies. So List Perfectly is a cross-listing platform. They allow you to take your inventory from one platform to another and take it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. List Perfectly is a sponsor of this channel, and we work with List Perfectly. We will create your listings inside of List Perfectly for you, and then you can do the cross listing really easy. We can create them directly into the platform, and then they're done, and you can do the cross listing using LP. So it's two different services and things that we do. List Perfectly is amazing. I highly recommend you use them, and if you use us, I recommend using both. Ed says it's under the performance tab.
I'm looking there now.
Ed Cole, look, you guys are in for a treat. Ed Cole's about to teach me something I didn't know about eBay, which is rare because I've spent so many hours just going through the entire thing that I didn't
offer
know.
Sales. Here it is right here.
Would you click on performance sales and then
performance sales? Scroll down. Instead of all sales, promoted listing sales, offer sales.
Wait, what? I'm lost already. Oh, offer sales. There you go. Best offer sales, seller initiated offers, sales without offers. Oh, here you go. Best offer sales and seller initiated offers.
I thought it would be way higher.
Mine is 44.9 and my sales without offers is 55.1. Good to know, Ed. That's pretty cool.
My best offer sales and then seller initiated offers. Two different numbers for me. Is it two different numbers for you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was 24% of best offers and 20% of seller initiated offers. So 44% total. And then I got 55% without offers.
32.4% offers, 67.6
without
sales without offers.
Yeah, I
thought I had way more sales from offers.
I thought it would be too.
Thanks, Ed.
Pretty cool, Ed. I didn't know that. I didn't pay too much attention to that page, to be honest.
Oh, what I don't want to see is my selling costs, my eBay fees. I don't want to see that report right below it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see the one for that too. Somebody the other day, typically, what does that average? Me, it's like 38%. You know that eBay's taken 13 to 14. I do 2% promoted, so it's around 16%. And my shipping labels hover around 20% of my total gross sales. So if I'm shipping a $20 item, it costs $4, right? You ship a $20 label, a $20 remote, $4. 20% is pretty fair.
34.8% of my was my selling cost. 34.8.
That's right. Mine hovered between 36 and 38. Let me look. You're gonna make me look. I didn't want to look, but let me see. Mine's probably up around 40%. If I had to guess. What was it under sales and then
right under offer sales and selling costs.
Net sales versus fixed, average sales
price. Pear Kitty, seller initiated is up 122. Mine's up 179.3. Implementing that definitely brings in a lot of sales.
Oh, I'm only at 34.1%. That's not bad. I'll take that. 34%. Anything under 40 is probably good. Don't forget you have a cost of goods sold, but my cost of goods is nothing. So I'm at like 40% out of pocket. So I'm 60%. Yeah. 37.8% Ed Cole is. I'm actually a little lower than Ed, so that's not bad. And Cindy is 55.8% without offers. I didn't know you could check that. Cool to see those metrics. Very cool. We can thank Ed Cole for that. Ed right above. Let us know when you do a warehouse listing fulfillment service. Jonathan, listen, buddy, I wish that we could. There is a company that does that, right? And they're a great company. But here's the problem with that whole scenario on fulfillment by eBay. So what Jonathan is talking about, Watson is talking about, if I'm correct, Jonathan is talking about being able to ship your inventory into somebody like you do on Amazon. Those of you that sell on Amazon know what I'm talking about. And we store it for you and then ship it for you. So we've had this discussion. We discussed it on a chat, I believe, one time a few weeks ago, a month or two ago. And there actually is a service that does it right now. I've met them in person. I know the couple. They're middle-aged and more, a little bit older than me. I don't want to call them middle-aged. That's rude. But married couple. They started the company 2 years ago, I believe. And they currently do this. Real fast. Steadfast, Renee, go to sales, go to performance, and then sales on your main eBay page, and then scroll down. You'll see it. Performance sales tab. So what happens is you will sign up for their service and tell them a little bit about what you do. If you sell clothing, for example, that fits in poly, they will mail you a package of like let's say you do 100 items, and they send you a package of 100 items with 100 baggies, and the baggies are labeled like SKU 1, SKU 2, SKU 3, SKU 4. And so what you'll do is you'll take your items that are listed on eBay, already listed on eBay. They don't create listings. They have to be active. And you will change the SKU to SKU 1 for t-shirt. And then you'll put it into the bag 1. Put that in the box. Bag 2 into the box. Bag 3 into the box. So make sure your SKUs are correct on eBay. And then you'll put them all in the box, tape it up, and you'll ship it into them. And then they store it. And when the item sells, I guess they have some way to get notified, or they check everyone's sales every day, which sounds like a lot of work to me. I don't know. And then they ship your items off for you. So what they're doing is storage and fulfillment. That's what they're doing. They don't create listings, and they don't do any of the other stuff. They simply store it and ship it. It's a great idea for people that need that. The problem is you have to pay for the shipping to get everything in. They don't have the same. They do have discounted shipping for volume, I'm sure, but not the discounts that Amazon gets. Amazon stupid discounts. But you could box up a house for like $50 and ship to Amazon, right? But so they don't have that luxury of that discount. So you still are spending a fair amount to ship all this stuff in, especially if your items have any kind of weight to them. I suppose if you were shipping like little like wireless mouses or something into them, you could put 1 million in a box. It might not be that bad, but if you're shipping full on jeans, it's going to be a problem. And so you're paying for that expense, and then you're also paying for the expense of them to receive and store the item, and then an expense for them to what's called pick and pack, which means find it, pick it, shove it in the labels, and pack it, ship it out. And it can cost you several dollars, $3, $4. We saw $5 and $6 per item plus the shipping. So it gets very expensive. It's a fantastic idea. The customers they have to have higher margins, and they do a fantastic job. But I don't see how anybody can replicate what Amazon does, and that sucks. Like we've talked about it, but yeah. So that's fulfillment by eBay. And there was a story I did on eBay 2+ years ago, maybe 3. COVID screws all my timelines up, but eBay announced that they were going to do it. I don't know if you ever saw that.
It did. I don't think they ever went through with it. I think they're more focused on the authenticity guaranteed stuff.
Yeah, they started off with that. So here it is. This was 4 years ago, managed by eBay. I made this video 4 years ago. I knew it had to be pre-COVID. I knew it had to be. So I'd have to check through my actual things, but 4 years ago. So this was in 2019, pre-COVID, maybe 2018 or the beginning of 2019. And it was managed by eBay Delivery and Fulfillment. And they made an announcement that they were looking into it. That video has almost 10,000 views. And it just, it just fizzled out because I feel like they couldn't duplicate what Amazon was doing. How much would you need to add to the listing price for these types of services? 10%? Probably not. If your average sale price is $25, you'd have to add 20%, 30%. Yeah. And it would be a lot. It would be a solid amount. For our service, you're only paying $1.25 or $1.35 or $1.40. If you're selling, figure 20, let's just say $20 items. I mean, $1.30 over 20 is only 0.06%. Like it's a very small number. So that's something to consider too with us making the listings. You're only losing, if you're averaging $15 in profit, you're losing $1.25, $1.50. If your normal price on your cost of goods is $3, now you're paying $4.30 or $4.40. It's not terrible. So Jonathan says his wife was working for a place in Denver that manages Eileen Fisher, North Face, REI accounts, and more. And they just prep and photo stuff. Like a prep center. There are a lot of prep centers. I have friends, Tim knows who they are as well, Chaz and Trista, who do have a prep center. Amazon prep centers are very, very, very popular. There's many of them, actually. And it is a place that they do exactly that. You have all your inventory just dropped at their place, whether you ship it or have your source ship it, and they just basically transfer it over into the Amazon. They label it, they sticky it, and they pack it up and ship it off to Amazon's warehouses. There is places that do that. But again, it's Amazon. You don't see eBay prep centers, right? It just doesn't exist.
The volume on Amazon is crazy.
Yeah. It'd be nice if there was a warehouse to wash your hands of it. If I put out a Facebook post and a YouTube video tomorrow that said, we have a warehouse that'll store all your eBay inventory and we'll do it all, and the price was reasonable, we would have 10,000 customers overnight. If the price was reasonable, but I don't see how it could be reasonable.
You need cheap storage.
Yeah, you need cheap storage, which would mean you need a ton of customers immediately to offset the storage, and cheap labor, which is hard nowadays with prices going up, because you got to have somebody who can monitor those accounts, pull and pack that inventory, ship that inventory, basically running a logistics warehouse all day, and employees that know how to log in and out of accounts and pull that kind of
and print the labels.
Yeah, print the labels, ship the proper,
ship the right item,
the right items with the right shipping labels, and be able to bounce in between all of those accounts.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so Ed says that their fulfillment is $4 to $6. That's what I was saying. It was at least $4 that we saw, up to $6 or $7. It says send in with a reasonable monthly minimum. Most UPS inbound shipping included discounted monthly storage fees. Yeah, they charge a storage fee on top of that, so they do discount it. The inbound shipping included, it usually puts you at the higher end of that. So that's kind of how they do it. There's a lot I don't understand about their business. They're totally awesome people and their service, but
it's a very interesting concept.
It is. I just don't think a lot of people can reasonably articulate spending $5 and $6 extra per item to have it stored and shipped. Now, if you're somebody who has an employee in a building and you're spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month on storage and employees, you may have to go ahead and sit down and figure out what it would cost to do that versus what you're already paying, and then compare it. But if you're like
but you still have to photograph the item and list it on eBay.
Yeah, you still have to have the employee doing work. So, but you would have to lay it out like, okay, now I no longer need this building and all this storage, so I could do it out of my garage, or I could do this or whatever. You could figure it out. But for a one-man show working out of their house, you're not saving any money. You're not getting rid of a building or an employee. So it's just adding $5 or $6 to your thing. Didn't eBay stores do that and fail? No, Bear, they talked about it, but they never actually did it. I was all over that. The only thing I will say that eBay does do, they have a thing called the Vault. It's for sports cards, and you can ship those in. Those make sense, though. They're 60 cents. Like, come on.
Do eBay stores still exist?
Like stores that you take it to locally, and they handle it?
Yeah.
There's one here in Tampa. There's a giant sign on the side of 75. I've been meaning to, you know what? For like 3 years, I've been meaning to stop in that store. I'm sure that they're like a follower of mine. eBay, we sell on eBay for you, Tampa. Hold on, let me see if that pops up. I will sell your stuff on eBay. Here it is. Yeah, this was like one of those stores.
Did they have the franchise?
No, I think this was.
I sold it on eBay.
Yeah, that was the franchise. Yeah, this one was like some independent person that just did it. Yeah, this isn't even active anymore. That sign's probably been there for decades. Just thought of the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie. That's hilarious. Yeah. So really, I mean, in between what is available from the company I was talking about and those former brick and mortar stores, and now like what we do for the listing service, it's great that we provide the listing and we take care of that time, because storage is just storage. It's not eating up your time. Listing is eating up your time, which is why our service is great. But the whole fulfillment side of it is an interesting concept to us. I think we've put pen and paper to it. And I think that I just don't know. We even came up with some ideas of getting people inventory sourced and having it all prepped and ready for you. And basically just like a start to finish where you just pay for the inventory, and part of your package included the inventory, the prepping, and the listing service all in one. And so basically the inventory would just show up to you already bagged, tagged, and listed. All you'd have to do is put it onto your shelves and be done with it. It still doesn't get rid of the storage aspect of it, but it gets rid of everything else. But then you still have to ship it as well. A complete,
it's like ready-made inventory, but
Yeah, ready-made inventory. We floated that idea, and we may still try to approach that idea at some point. But there was one in Crofton, Maryland. Yeah, I used to live not far from Crofton, like 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, the fulfillment thing is a very interesting point of topic. It eats away at me. If I'm going to be totally honest, it eats away at me like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen my warehouse.
I've just seen enough people's garages and sheds and storage. Look, a lot of people do it right. They've got clean storage. Like, I feel like my storage is fairly good. I don't think it's perfect, but there's some people that have disaster zones. Like, I'm like, how do you find anything? I was in Phoenix, and I told you about those guys that we went to dinner with, and we went to their house. I wish I could walk you through that house. This was $1 million, like a $950,000 house. Probably... It was 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a huge, like, set-off dining room. They have 5,000 active listings and probably 15,000 inactive items, not touched. You're listening to how many items I'm telling you.
Yeah. You called me. I remember you called me.
The main eBay room. I didn't have a lot of service. I wish I could have FaceTimed you from that thing. I should add. They're really nice guys. They probably send me pictures. Their main eBay room was no bigger than my office here. And they had like a desk and a shipping station. And then he had all 5,000 items that were listed in that room just hanging from the walls. He had a dresser, a full-on dresser. When you open the top drawer, was all his listed coffee mugs. The second drawer, all his listed shot glasses. The third drawer, all his listed stamps and coin collections. The fourth drawer, he had like 6 drawers. And I'm like, how do you know? He goes, well, I know the stamps are in drawer 3. I'm like, it's not labeled. Like, what? I don't understand. He's like, well, this dresser has 800 items in it. I'm like, oh. And then he swung the closet door open, and there's like board games and puzzles and all this stuff. And I'm like, how? He goes, I know where it's at. I'm like, oh my God. They would be my first customers. And if you ever watch this video, you guys, they know who they are. I'm sorry, but your house gave me anxiety. Beautiful house. Absolutely beautiful house. And just stuff everywhere.
I don't think you would do good in my warehouse.
I'm pretty organized. Like,
I just want enough space.
Even at my storage units, you know, my first storage unit was perfect. My second storage unit was
I remember going. It was.
Yeah, my second unit was like 80% because I knew the whole right side was listed, and then the left side was up. My third storage unit was a mess, but that was not listed, so I didn't need to know where it all was. Yeah. But even that stuff, we were able to clean that out in like 2 weeks, and I knew where everything was. It's crazy. You know, I haven't been to the storage units in like 3 weeks.
Must be nice.
Just thought of that. Like, the feeling of not going up there is pretty crazy. Cheesehead Flipper. Yeah. So Cheesehead lived in an apartment, and that's how a lot of people ended up on Amazon, is because they couldn't store. So it was like, how can I buy all this inventory? Well, obviously I can send it to Amazon and they'll store it for me. And by default, people ended up selling through Amazon because they didn't want to hold all the inventory like eBay. And it actually worked out better for them. Really.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Amazon's solution was fantastic. And I still think to this day, like, what is the difference? Like, what do we pay Amazon for a pick and pack fee? What do we pay Amazon to handle this? And what do we pay on the inbound shipping? And then if we had a customer, let's say you, for example, because you ship in Amazon, you would pack a package and say, okay, it cost me X to Amazon. What would it cost if you had to do it for eBay? How much of a difference would it be?
Major. They don't charge a lot.
I know. They charge like $1 for a pick and pack fee.
The thing is, if the pick and pack fee is like $3, that includes the shipping to the customer. You can't get it done.
No, you can't. Just their shipping costs are so cheap. Amazon needs to do FBA for used clothing. I said this a long time ago. Amazon should open up to more categories. They should have a section of the website that's used. Like, not just for clothes, for other items. You can sell used electronics. Like things like this used remote control can go on Amazon. I have stuff on Amazon used. Like, just like this. It can go FBM. It can go FBA. It doesn't matter. But the storage side of it, it's pretty crazy. Hustling, hardly hustling. Your business, especially eBay, is only as big as your vessel and how well managed it is. That's a great topic. I may screenshot that, by the way. I think I am going to screenshot that. That's a great little topic. Did he escape jail again?
A lot going on here.
Yeah. Tim's on daddy duty. We won't get into why, but he's Tim's married, but his wife is not present and accounted for the last couple of days. So she's out handling some stuff. So Tim's taking the kids in bedtime. And I can tell because I don't believe I've ever seen a live show where they came creeping in at this time. What is it, 9:30? 9:30?
They don't. They're sleeping. I'm not as good at bedtime.
So look, so I was gonna say, Tim's been here at my house. Tim was here at my house for a couple nights, and it's different when kids are out of their element. They're not where they're normally used to. But I could tell Tim's the pushover, and his wife is definitely like the iron fist.
He wants a snack right now. It's 9:30. My wife would say no.
You just said whatever. You know what though? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna be the same way. Kate's gonna be the like out in the living room, like no, and I'm gonna be like whatever, just get it. Like
just do it.
Liam has a particular set of skills. That's funny. How often should I end listings and sell similar? The gamer. A lot of people tend to do it like every month. Like if stuff goes a month or two without selling, they'll end it, and they'll do rotations where they'll end some on 1 week and they'll end more the next week and the next week and so on and so forth. So it just totally depends on your inventory. What did John Amazon or can we link things here? I just saw a hilarious short. Bear Kitty, you can link it, but I think YouTube's chat automatically might remove it. Hang on, I was looking it up. Yeah, I don't know how that chat thing works for the links. If not, you can just message to me on Facebook and I'll share it. Liam has a particular set of skills.
Yeah. He also got me sick last week, so it's just
yeah. Everything I have is labeled tubs except for my Dooney and Burke and several Loungefly backpacks. They've taken over my sewing room, but I know where they are, so I have a small, tiny duty. Yeah, I mean, there's some people. I knew a lady. I wish I had it here, but I knew a lady that sold jewelry, and she had all 20,000 pieces of inventory in like you see this little. Let's see if I can unplug that. Give me a second. Like those little mini drawers right there. Like she just could pull it out. Hers were bigger. They were like wider, but she had like 8 of them on a thing. And each of these drawers that she had that were a little wider held like 50 or 60 pieces. And they were like probably 8 high. And then she was holding 400 or 500. And then she had, I would guess, probably like 6 rows of those. So she had like 20,000 pieces of inventory. And she sold on eBay and Etsy. And all her inventory was, each drawer was labeled drawer 1, drawer 2, drawer 3, drawer 4, etc. And she had her entire inventory in one little corner, and it was on a table that stretched the length of it. And at the end of the table was a shipping with a thermal printer and her computer. And she ran her whole business like that. And as far as I know, I'd have to hit her up on Instagram. I didn't know her that well, but she still does it. And last I knew, she was making, her gross sales were anywhere from like 20 to 25,000 a month.
Wow.
Yep, she did really well. So.
You don't print the labels with the SKU number on them, right, Casey?
No, our well, it does appear on it, right? The label.
If you set the custom label to
my custom SKU line is filled in, but I don't know if it prints on it or not. Kate does all the shipping. I honestly don't know. I think it does. She's sitting right here. Hang on, let me. Hey, Kate. Oh, you don't have to say no. She said no. Yeah, you can set that to do it. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
that's what I do. Like I know the weights, So.
I think what she
with that, I know the weights, and then they just go right to my thermal printer. I'll go grab the labels and then go pick the items.
So what she does is she'll open the eBay app, and then like she has the items that are sold, so she can go out to the garage where they're all stored and go, okay, item 1 is bin B15, grab it, and then scroll to the next one, scroll to the next one. She'll pull it all, take it in there, and then just start printing the labels. So yeah, some people like to do a pick list. We used to do a pick list. We used to do that when I was renting at Dave's old office. We used to do a pick list, but I don't know why we stopped that. We had like a regular printer, so we could just create the pick list and hit print, and then Kate would carry the list and a pen or marker with her over to the shelves, and as she grabbed it, she would mark it off like that she got it.
Yeah, I've never used the pick list before.
That was the only time we ever did that, I think. I don't know. Would you in and relist an item that is getting a few views, had 5 watchers? I don't. I leave it up. Some people will. I don't want to lose the watchers, but yeah. Look up Dust Imminent Arrival. Dust on YouTube, Bear Kitty. Hold on, Dust. Oh yeah, it popped right up on YouTube. He said this is an Amazon parody video or something. I'll watch it later, but I just had to save it on my phone. I have one of those drawers things, and those are unlisted. I sell on live YouTube sales. It has 10 drawers, and I have other unlisted jewelry to list on eBay. I wish I sold small stuff sometimes. Like I really wish I sold like Tim's got a friend that sells the little Lego minifigs. Those are freaking fantastic. I knew a guy that sold all the little minifigures from like what are all the board games? What's the Warhammer games, Heroes Quest games, all those little things.
Yeah, sometimes like the Monopoly ones are worth money.
Oh, they're worth a fortune. In fact, bear with me one time. Take this, Tim. It's sitting right here above my head. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is one of my pride and joys, but pull these little guys out. So there's a game, you can look it up. It's called Hero Quest from like 1989 or 1990. I had it when I was a kid. And it's along the same lines of Dungeons and Dragons, sort of, but not really. These little minifigures here. These are the heroes in the game as you sit them down. And there's all kinds of goblins and zombies and dwarves and all these guys. They're plastic. They're really like, who cares, right? But this guy I knew used to get all these parts and these pieces. In fact, he supplied me a couple pieces for the game when I rebuilt it. And let's see. Heroes Quest figures. So these 2 little guys right here would be worth the originals if you had them, which these 2 are absolutely original. Let's just see. I'm curious. Some of the guys are selling. Here's a full set of the Hero Quest 4 that sold for $30. Here's a set of 4 that sold for $33. Let's see if they have just like the elf guy. Here's one that sold for $80. He's one of the original 1989 ones. He's one of the boss guys. So yeah, he used to collect. There's about 40 of these figures per game. I own the whole game. I had him. He sold them to me for like $5 a piece, the ones that I was missing. But he said normally he would get anywhere from 25 to 35 a pop for him. If he had all sets of 4, he would get 50. He said if he had the entire set for the game, he would sell it for about 200 because the game, that used game sells for 250 to 300 as a game. Yeah.
I bought the best I can do is the Jesus statue up here from when I moved in. And I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I don't care what it's worth. Superstitious. I'm not selling it. It was there when I moved in 5 years ago. It's not going anywhere.
That's hilarious. Somebody's at my door. Hang on.
You get DoorDash?
I don't know who that is. I'm sort of hoping that Kate's handling that. It's like 9:30 at night. It says it went off like 20 minutes ago. Weird. Anyways, okay. I hope eBay doesn't add any more on it. Yeah, Mindy, I made that video the other day. Unnecessary item specifics. We do required specifics on all of our listings for the listing service.
You don't do not.
We do a couple recommendeds if it's quick and easy, but there's no need to fill out 24 recommended items.
No. Just because eBay says your listing quality alert, it has nothing to do with the sales.
Samuel, yeah, first class is no longer called first class. It's called ground advantage. It's the same as first class. You'll be able to get the shipping anywhere from $350 to $450 on average. So that's what you want to use. That's your cheapest option currently.
Yeah, you just want to put the right weight in. Make sure if it's 2-ounce minifigure, put in 2 ounces.
Yeah, correct. Once you go over 4 ounces, it goes up significantly. So don't forget that.
Which
4 to 8 ounces. Yeah, 4 to 8 ounces is significant, and over 8 ounces, like 9 to 12, goes another jump, and then over 12 to 15, 13, 14, 15 ounces is higher. You can go as high as like $7. I shipped a remote to Yakisha, is that Yakisha, Washington, whatever that town is called? Oh my God, it was 5 ounces and it was like $6.40.
No.
Yep. That was annoying because normally we're used to shipping stuff, for $3.80 typically. Y City, Washington State. I can't remember the name. It was a really cool name. It was Yakisha or Yikisha or something. I don't know. Okay. Anybody else? We're gonna jump. eBay is great. I'm selling my poop stained undies every day. Oh Jesus. There's people some. Fun fact: priority is less than ground advantage. Sometimes it can be. Yeah, I definitely saw that. I just got done with the first Loungefly bag for you. Feel free to question me. Okay, Renee, thank you. We appreciate it. Renee is one of ours. Do you weigh the bubble envelope along with the figs? Yes.
Yes.
It's item plus packaging. Correct. Yep, definitely. Okay, so I think we covered it all. We got to talk about this fulfillment thing. There's got to be some in the middle solution. But yeah, the service is open. New customers, if you're not on our client list already on ProEcommerceLister, the website's below. You can buy right off the website. You don't have to wait for us. You can email us if you have questions and you want to buy directly. We will get you set up. I'll get you a special price. As always, there's discounts on the website for the more that you buy. If you hit me up directly and tell me you watched the live show or you watched one of the videos, I will definitely give you a better price than you can find. Just hit me up at ProEcommerceLister@gmail.com. We monitor those all day long. We respond to them all day long. So we'll get to you. If you don't get a response, then please message me or anything else. We check the spam folder as well, so it generally doesn't go there. Our price, $1.25, $1.30, $1.40, depending on how much you spend. Well worth getting those listings up and saving you that time. So any other questions, anything anybody wants to cover in the chat before we bounce off? We've been on an hour, I just noticed. Oh, wow. Yeah, Yakima, Washington. That's the one. Yep, that's it. Don't forget to smash the like button. Yes, there's a button under the video. It's blue. If you go like this on your computer, you won't get to watch our video next time, but you'll at least get the smashing the like button. That helps the algorithm. So it means a lot to us. It really does. You guys have been fantastic to work for. Hey, Renee.
Thanks, Renee.
Renee, if your sales have increased, can you take a screenshot and send to us, either email or message me on Facebook or whatever's easiest for you? And Everyday Picker, great point. Ground advantage includes $100 insurance, as it did not include insurance with first class before. So, okay, I'm gonna let everyone jump out of here. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video. We'll try to go live more than every 3 weeks. We'll try to get back to every other week, if not every week. But yeah, we're open for questions, comments, concerns, and please buy ProEcommerceLister. It will save you time, save you headaches, and really help grow your business. We'll have tons and tons of reviews to show you. If everybody else is growing and making money, why not you, right?
Get that money.
Get that money. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.